London, and this was SM. What is the Sharia definition of Dayuth? A Sharia definition of Dayuth هو الذي يرضى بفعل الفاحشة في أهله, is the one who's pleased with his wife being a whore. He's pleased with his wife being a prostitute, or if she isn't selling anything or soliciting her love, she sleeps with other men and he's pleased with it. Many people, they translate the word Dayuth as a pimp, but that's not always necessarily true. A woman may not be a prostitute, but she sleeps with other men. In the modern culture today, right? Swingers or whatever the word you want to use. Or a man records his wife having sex with another man, and that turns him on and stimulates him. He's married to her. She's just sleeping with him. She's not going to go home with him. She doesn't love him, but go ahead. And it's good for me. That's one thing. Everyone understand it? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a pimp. Someone who has a woman in which he's selling this woman. And in most cases, and Allah knows best, Allahu Alam, in most cases, if there's a pimp, his wife is not on the corner or walking the strip. His wife is not the prostitute. In most cases, the pimp has no intimate relationship with the girl that's selling herself. So many people, they mistranslate the word. And they may say, if you allow your wife to go outside the house and her feet are out, you're a Dayuth. If you allow your wife to wear perfume outside the house, you're a Dayuth. If you allow your wife to work and shake a man's hand, you're a Dayuth. That's not right. That's not fi'l al-fahisha. You being loose with your wife, you're not having necessary jealousy with your wife, you're not being protective of your wife, different what? Different story. But it doesn't mean that you're a Dayuth, as is mentioned in that hadith. Unless you're pleased with someone doing fahisha with your wife. And obviously there are steps towards fahisha, no doubt. Okay, shaking a woman's hand could lead to that. You feel the softness of her hand. She feels the softness of your hand, the strength of your hand, the warmth of your hand, the energy in your hand. People say things like this is reality. Okay? Touching someone. If he shakes my hand, maybe he'll shake my hand for a couple more seconds. Maybe he'll sit next to me. Maybe I'll hug him. Maybe. If his hand felt so soft, then what about the rest of his body? If her hand was like silk, what about what? The rest of her parts. This is reality. I used to, oh man. The smell, the perfume of her hand stayed on my hand for 24 hours. What about the rest of her body? What type of perfume is on the rest of her body? This is reality. Things lead up to things. You allow men to talk with your wife and stare at your wife, and that's a problem. And it can lead to what? Fahisha. But it doesn't mean that if a man is a little sloppy or lax, he's a Dayuth. That's a wrong interpretation of the word, of the hadith, and also of the concept. Wallahu alam.